Good morning, everybody. We are live, waiting for Instagram to connect in. As soon as Instagram connects, we will be good to proceed. Should be probably about another minute. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is Friday. Happy Friday to all. We're going to give it about a minute and a half for our friends to join in, and then we'll start getting things moving. Good morning, Poolology. How you doing? I do have a pool that needs work, so we will be contacting you guys. You came highly recommended. Alrighty. We're going to go ahead and get started here. If for some reason anybody has issue hearing me, or if for some reason the video feed cuts out, I will be reposting this on my YouTube channel as well as Facebook. They allow me to do long form content. Or if for some reason you just want to reflect back on some of the material that we've talked about today, I'll have all that up for you guys so that you can go back, listen to the recordings, and there's also a transcript for you to follow if you'd like to look at some of the key points. We're going to dive right into the material today. Want to be respectful of everybody's time. And again, I thank you so much for joining. And today's course is going to be a wrap up for the first week. And we've gone through everything from preemptive strike of getting your daily tasks in order to the importance of working on the 80-20 rule, focusing on those tasks that produce 80% of the results. And vision board, we've gone through the beginning of sales, and today we're going to wrap up the week with a segment that I like to call Psychology of Sales. And this is a really fun one because I think while it's a very compact, simplified version of something that I think is extremely important for a growth of any company, it's something that I think as people start progressing in the business world, those who are able to hone in their sales skills are really the ones who are able to make the biggest impact because in the end, communication with our clients, communication with our counterparts, communication in general as a business individual is going to be critical for success. The first section today is going to be what I'm considering, I think, the first pivotal section, and that's going to be understanding client decision making process. The first point that I want to go over on this is buyers, and this is going to be more specific again to real estate, but this can really be utilized for any sort of sales environment or any company that's got a product or any company that works with their clients. But if essentially buyers often decide emotionally, but they justify logically, and this is something that all of us need to be cognizant of when we're speaking with our clients because there's always going to be that emotional aspect to sales. There's always going to be that emotional aspect to the client and them connecting to the product, especially when we're dealing with the real estate space of larger ticket items. When you start getting into those purchases of 500, 600, even obviously 200, but we start even going to the $1 million purchases, the client is definitely going to be a little bit more emotional because it's scary to them. So our goal as the sales professional is we want to be able to bring logical data and information to our clients so that they can feel comfortable and be able to move out of that emotional space and start to move into that security. As a lot of times those emotional issues are going to be based off things like fear, security, aspiration. There's going to be different triggers along the way that are going to be driving those emotional responses. And it's going to be our job as the professional, the consultant, that trusted advisor to work through our clients from that emotional state into that logical state so that they can feel comfortable in the transaction and ultimately the purchase that they're going to be making. The biggest thing that I've found is being able to simplify the complex options for clients to help them make a little bit more easier, rational decision. Especially when you're getting into those bigger purchases or when you're dealing with investors, possibly first-time investors, there are going to be a lot of complexities to the transactions. Especially to first-time home buyers, it's going to be a very daunting task to somebody that's never gone through this, especially as regulations increase, documentation increases, escrow title processes. These are all going to be things that we're comfortable with, but we have to understand that from our client standpoint, these are very new things that they've never had to deal with. Our goal is to take those complex items and try to hone in on them, simplify them, and explain them to a client so that they can look back and be able to digest that information and feel comfortable about that decision they're making. Within this process, we're always going to be coming up with objections. In the end, the client is going to have objections to things. And the big key is how do we identify those objections and how do we properly and professionally respond to those objections? The big thing for me is using active listening skills to uncover those underlying concerns. In the end, the client will explain to you their concerns. They're going to put it all out there, and it's up to us as their professional advisor to listen to them, to find those key pain points and be able to reiterate to them that, yes, one, we're paying attention to them. Two, we understand and we do sympathize and empathize with these concerns because they are legitimate concerns. And then that final piece is we do have the education experience to be able to take those concerns and rationalize them for our clients. The big thing is we want to reframe the objection into opportunities for further, deeper discussions. The big thing again is to identify those objections, reiterate those objections to our clients so that they know we truly are paying attention to them, and then reframe them and explain them in an understandable way so that they're able to review the information and data that we're putting out and be able to make decisions from moving to that emotional standpoint to the logical standpoint. And the other thing is be able to preemptively identify those objections and address them early before they become a big problem. And this is going to be something from even the beginning of that sales cycle through the process of the sales and even at the very end. The goal is we want to be there to hedge the issues, to be able to identify issues before they arise so that the client doesn't have to deal with the emotional stress that's involved with that. If your client sees that you're taking that proactive approach, the comfort level is going to exponentially increase. And in the end, it's going to make that transaction all that much more smoother. Uh, as we know, and as we continue to gain experience in our space, we are going to see that there are going to be commonalities involved with the objections that we get. You're going to start to see patterns of objections that most of our clients are going to have a lot of those same objections usually upfront. So our goal is to be able to try to hedge those before they become an issue, identify, again, validify and go through that. Ask the client, are we good? Do you understand? Do you have any more concerns? And then circle back through your process, whether it's the listing process, the presentation, circle back once those objections have been identified, once they've been explained, and then circle back into the close. Again, I keep reiterating the process for all of us, whether you're in real estate, whether you're a business owner, whether you're an employee, if you're anybody that's going to be in a sales advisory process, you're going to want to be able to convey to your client that one, you know what you're doing. So again, you're going to have to educate yourself, become the professional. That comfort level for them is going to exponentially increase if they feel confident in knowing that not only are you there to support them emotionally, but you are there from a knowledge and experience standpoint to be able to walk through these issues and give them that comfort level that you are that trusted advisor for them. So, in wrap up, again, the big thing, understanding the client decisioning process, being able to hedge the issues, being able to work with them through the inherent emotional process, because it can be scary, and then listening to them and learning how to overcome those objections and convert them into overall the end close of the sale. I'm going to wrap this up here real quick. I'm going to leave it open for questions or comments. If there's anybody that's live here on Instagram, that's the platform that will allow me to contact and discuss with you. If you have anything you'd like to ask me, go ahead. I'd love to hear from you. And if not, if there's things that you come up with throughout the day, or if there's some sticking points that you have in this process and want some advice, I would be more than happy to talk with you and work with you through this. So I'll give about 30 seconds for anybody to type in some comments and post up any questions. While we're waiting, I again want to thank everybody for taking the time out of your day to listen. I tried to take 15 minutes, make it quick, get down and dirty, and then also in the end, give some information and give some time if anybody wants to do any one-on-one sessions where we can dig a little deeper onto the material. With that, we're going to end. I want to thank again everybody for joining. Wrap up here with again, I always do reiterating that we are here at Copeland Real Estate Group in a very rapid growth mode. We are expanding quickly. We are in the need for agents on the California Central Coast as well as Central Texas. If you're agent that is looking to grow, you want to expand your business and take it to the next level. There's a lot of opportunity here. We're trained. We're willing to be there to support and make sure that you're successful. And on the inverse, if you're a new individual looking to get into the real estate space, don't know where to go, don't know where to start, and you're looking for that support, we'd love to be there to help you. With that being said, everybody go out there today. And like I keep continuing to stress, the goal is we don't want to be just good. We don't want to be great. We want to be the elite. Go out there and differentiate yourself from the competition. And the number one way to do that is through knowledge. In the get those wins. Winning doesn't lie. The number one way to put yourself out there and get those deals and to convey that you know what you're doing to your community at large is to show those big wins. I hope everybody has a great day, and we'll see you Monday.